bit for those of you who have joined us midway through the morning, just to let you know where we're going. We have 2 more presentations left this morning. We're going to take a break in the middle of those, and so we're going to move on in. Eddie, I see you. I'll let you speak in just a second if you have something to add. Our next speaker is going to be our own Nancy Paulson, district webmaster, who's going to talk some about using technology in your club. And before I hand off back to Nancy, Eddie, did you have anything to add?
Yes, I'd just like to make one comment here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mike Dickerson and Juan, for those inspirational project ideas on projects and information on grants. And we talked a lot about these global grants and the opportunities for all of our clubs to be international hosts or be international partners in these projects. But one thing we did not hear is, how can we as a district be a host country in a project? Because, you know, we're sending money to all parts of the world to do good on all these projects, and that's really great. But, you know, we have a lot of need right here in our own communities, and I challenge us as a district and as clubs to let's come up with a project that we can do, a global grant project we can do right here in our own community, right here in our own district, and I guarantee you we can get money from other parts of the world to help sustain and help fund these projects. So that would be our challenge as we go forward to not only individual clubs, but as a district as a whole. And so I want to thank everyone for giving us that information on the global grants and as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Nancy Paulson, I will let you jump in with the next session then.
Okay, and trust me, yes, this is about technology, but it is not high technology. And I think we're going to be able to deal with it just fine. Basically, it's who is our target audience, and I'm also saying your, because this affects both Rotary District and your individual club. And it is going to talk about how technology can be used to multiply. We've all heard about videos going viral, and hopefully some of our videos, some of our pictures, some of our projects could go viral. The other thing that I have included in here, is pictures as we go through demonstrating Rotarians. We are people of action. We are doing things. As you tell your stories, and I'll talk about this later, please, let's give action pictures. Right now, we can't always tell exactly who it is. I think this is Andy Z from Brownsville in a blood drive that they did. So you'll be seeing some of these pictures. Okay, the objectives for today is I'm going to talk about a member persona and what that is. What technology am I talking about? A little bit about storytelling, and then some resources for you. This picture happens to be from the Alice Club as they were supporting one of their groups for COVID-19. Now, a target audience. It's the specific group of people that you want to reach through your social channels, through social media, through your website, through YouTube, through WhatsApp, and we'll be talking about all of those specifics later. Now, they're the people who are most likely to be interested in your content, your membership, or giving to the group. We don't always, as Mike talked about before, we don't always necessarily want to do a project to get money or to get membership. We want to get it for awareness, because sometimes after they're aware, then they will give or they will join. but they need to be made aware of it first. Now, this target audience is also likely united by some common characteristics, like some demographics and behaviors. And I'll give you some specifics in a minute. And if I remember right, this is somewhere from the Valley. And they had given prepared some bags for one of the groups. And I apologize, I can't remember who. And I can't find that piece of
Laredo
notes.
Daybreak.
Laredo Daybreak. Very good. Thank you, Eddie. Okay, I'm going to tell you and walk you through how to create a member persona. And this is for your club. And you can use this member persona as you create outreach materials. Now, I want you to look at your club. That's the first part. Every club is different, but every club is also the same because we are all Rotary clubs. We all live in communities, and our communities can be different. For example, Rotary talks a lot about trying to get young professionals, the age group of 25 to 40. Rockport, where I come from, is a tourist town. It is a retirement town. We have no education beyond high school. We don't have a community college. We don't have a regular college. They have to go into Corpus Christi. That's the closest. We don't have any industry to speak of. And so we don't have too many of that age group. So we've got to look at other things where other towns, Victoria, Corpus Christi, Laredo, Edinburgh area, all have, other things that have the schools, have industry that they can deal with. The other thing you want to look at in your club is the vocations, your classifications of your members. If you already have 5 real estate agents, yes, you could probably have another real estate agent join your club. But if you don't have any bankers, if you don't have any CPAs, if you don't have any teachers, then you might want to go after some of those. No dentists, no doctors, although sometimes because of their schedule, they're hard to get. Now, the other thing you want to do is after you take a look at your club and what values you have, what you're looking at, is I want you to get real specific. Do you need to expand your gender base? Okay, where are you on your percentages? This is one of the things that Rotary International would like us to get, is a little bit more gender equity. They're also looking at diversity. And so all of these, although I didn't write them all, but you want to think about all the different ways, race, religion, ethnicity, gender, age, to be a diverse club. Vocations, again, like I mentioned before, what vocations are you sort of missing out of your group, in your club? You might also want to look at income and educational level. In that, look at how much disposable income people might have. This is difficult right now because a lot of us with COVID-19 and losing employment, we don't have much disposable income. And that's what Juan and Mike were talking about also, that sometimes we don't want to overburden our members with donating. And then we have our Rotary reasons. And Kent and Jack brought this out, as well as Mike and Juan. Think about the Rotary values, and you want to look at people who have those same values. They enjoy fellowship. They have some integrity. They are diverse. They are service. They're service leaning. They like to give back to their community. They might be a leader. Juan also had a slide at the beginning of what Rotarians do. We are entrepreneurial. We are inventive. We are resilient. We like to inspire, and we like to be inspired. We're problem solvers. We're open-minded. There's other qualities that, as you think about what you want in a member, think about those things. Now, there is a newsletter out of Rotary International for PR marketing. And as I was finalizing my presentation yesterday, this month's version came in. And they have this great new video called Anytown. And it fits right in as you think about developing a prospective member persona. Excuse me. I forgot whenever I screen shared to turn on share the computer screen. So I am resharing with sound. Apologize for that. Now you
As
should
Rotary,
be hearing it.
we often ask ourselves, how do we grow? Personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is simple. To grow Rotary, we need more Rotary clubs. Let's use Anytown as an example. Anytown is a city of 100,000 people and home to one proud Rotary club. But there are hundreds of other people of action, just like us, who are uniquely qualified to become Rotary members. They share the same drive and represent the values and fundamentals of a Rotary member. So why aren't they members? Well, the current club meets on Monday. There are leaders in Anytown who can't meet on a Monday. By excluding this segment, the potential members in Anytown has shrunk. Now consider, what if the meeting is at noon on Monday? There are people who can meet on Monday, but can't meet at noon. So now we have a smaller audience for Rotary in Anytown. Of the remaining group, some aren't interested in a club with a sit-down lunch and speakers. They are passionate about service, but aren't interested in a traditional club experience. And that is okay. The Rotary Club of Anytown isn't doing anything wrong. It just doesn't appeal to particular segments of the community. And if we're going to thrive for years to come, we must adapt and embrace change. In Anytown, we have an opportunity to expand because potential members are everywhere. More than half of the eligible people are prospective Rotary members, waiting to make a bigger impact in their community. But what Rotary Club exists for them? If Anytown creates new clubs at new times and new places, the hidden potential for Rotary will be revealed. As people of action, we must broaden our reach and provide opportunities to all leaders in the community. Together, all of us can grow Rotary.
Okay, with that, that video is up on our YouTube channel. If you wanted to share that with your club, and the membership committee may also be interested in that one. As well as, I think most of the videos that the other folks have shared, they got off the YouTube channel, or I will be adding it after I see their presentations. Now, about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years at this point, Rotary International went to a company called Siegel and Gale and really took a look at branding, where we are, because Rotary has done all these great projects for over 100 years, but Rotary has been kept a secret for so long. And it was, how can we start getting the word out? So they did a survey and asked people, why did you join Rotary? And this pie chart shows why people would join Rotary, impacting their community, for friendship, global impact, training, recognition, and networking. Okay, so we know that we do lots of community projects, and our clubs are pretty good on that, and we got some new ideas today. The friendship fellowship before every meeting, even Zoom meetings, we have that. Okay, global impact, those are our global grants and how we can share. It's also having the global speakers like we did today. And actually the Zoom meetings has made it easier to have some global speakers at your meeting, or at least national speakers. I know Joanne Settles, who's one of our polio chairs, was due to speak to a club in Hawaii. That never would have happened before Zoom meeting was so broadly used. And we're glad that she was able to do it. And I didn't get to see it, but I'm sure she represented our district and the Polio Plus program fantastically. Some people do come in for training, and we do provide that. And a lot of the training that we do can be utilized within their job. Recognition. Yeah, most of us don't join for the recognition. Okay, that's not why we're here. That's not why we do what we do. But I guess there was a small percentage who did. A lot of members do come in for networking. The business networking. I know in our club, we've lost a couple members that didn't last. We evidently didn't share well enough that, yeah, you might get some business contacts out of it, but that's not really why we're here. Okay. Now, the next survey that they did was, why did you stay in Rotary? Well, the community impact pretty much stayed the same. Friendship went up a little bit. Global impact went way up. Whoops. Global impact went way up. Training, a little bit, from 3 to 4. Recognition actually went down. They realized that they don't need to get recognition for the service, that they get other things out of it. The networking piece also went down. Now, one thing that I do want to share here, and this will be updated over the weekend, that our district has a app, and it shows on the district website how to get there. And one of the new things that's rolling out this weekend is something that was there as a coming soon, which is a Rotarian to Rotarian business directory, where you can find Rotarians and list your business there so that you can either work with other Rotarians, or people can come and find you because they like the ethics and the attitude that the Rotarians have. Okay, now you have an idea of what a member persona is. And I'm going to be giving you some charts on the website. I'm not going to show them to you now. They're real small print, but there's some charts that help you with developing that persona. Now, what technologies are you going to use to reach that? And this happens to be Kingsville. And I bet you can guess who's in this guy with the beard on his mask. You can use your website. You can use social media, and you can do emails. Okay, with all of those, you need to be able to create content. So I'm going to have a content calendar. It's a little bit easier if you can plan ahead what you're going to talk about, what you're gathering. This also falls right in line with Eddie's project with community service that we're highlighting on the website. What is the designated month that for activities for Rotarians and clubs? So you can look ahead on that and create a content calendar of what it is you're going to do. You want to leverage your content. Once you create it, you have those pictures, you have that video, you have that story, share the same thing across everywhere. You don't have to create something new for each platform. You might want to ask guests to post. You want to make sure that you do action pictures and or videos. And then you want to share the heck out of that content. Now, on your website, you want to make sure that you represent your brand well. And that's not just your brand from your club, it's the Rotary brand, which I'm sure Alita has shared this in the past, and she may also be sharing some of that in the next presentation, how you can do that. You want to write stories with action pictures. You've noticed that other than the one from Laredo, Daybreak, I believe it was, we didn't have a lot of people just standing around. But they also had some of their activity project materials there. People are interested in the action pictures and the action videos. Take a minute and a half video. It's very easy to post. Make sure that you enable social sharing. About half of our clubs are on Club Runner. They make it very easy. The other half of the clubs either rely on social media, Facebook, or they have websites that are very easy to enable people to be able to share the story. You also want to try to make it accessible. And that's making it accessible for screen readers, people with vision problems, hearing problems, that kind of stuff. Social media. As you do this, and this is difficult, what you want to do is claim your name for your club and your brand on all the different platforms out there that you can think of. And I will be giving you a list a little bit later. Claim it so that nobody else can go in and sort of do it and post instead of you. Now, you may claim it on 5 or 6 platforms, but choose one of them to start with. You can't do all 5 or 6 at once, unless you're a very large club and you could ask 6 different people each to take a platform to work with. You might want to do that, but otherwise, choose one of them. And you want to focus on conversation and engagement. Think about all that persona and the Rotary values, what Rotarians do, the qualities we have, the stories that we have. And that's what you post. That's what's part of your content. Emails. When you send emails out, my club in Rockport has 30 members, but I have been collecting as webmaster and president last year. I have been collecting from our guests and the speakers. I asked them, would you like to be on our mailing list that I mail out once a week, our bulletin, to say what's coming up in Rotary? The answer has always been yes. So in addition to our 30 members, I actually send out to another 67 people in our community that they may not be Rotarian members, but they're the people who come to our fundraisers. They are friends of Rotary, and some of them have turned into members. So you want to actively collect those. Make sure on your website or on your social media that you encourage people to sign up for your bulletin, a weekly newsletter, whatever way you want to call it. And then try to have a consistent template every week. It pretty much looks the same, just like whenever I do the district newsletter. The content changes, and I might add a new corner to the bulletin, but it pretty much looks the same. Okay, you want it to be good with storytelling. And I love this quote on storytelling. We as a species are addicted to story. Even when the body goes to sleep, the mind stays up all night long telling itself stories. So we love stories. And this picture shows an action group, actually from an international group, of German Rotaractors who are creating bee hotels to help the pollinators in one of their farming communities. And I just thought that was neat. My husband loves bees. Okay, when you do content marketing, when you're building that content, this is the art of communicating with your prospects and your members without having to sell to them. You want to make sure that you attract them, which turns into engagement, which turns into delight, which attracts them. And hopefully when they come around again to the engagement, they actually join the club. You don't really want to advertise. We don't advertise Rotary, okay? But we create helpful, engaging content that they can enjoy, they can learn from, and ultimately, hopefully, become members. Now, tips for your content. You want to keep stories on your website or a blog 300 to 500 words. You want to include a featured image or video. You want to optimize the post to include targeted keywords. If you're trying to talk about polio in that video, make sure you use polio. Make sure you use your club name. Make sure you use Rotary. Make sure you use the word service. Make sure you use fellowship, friendship, networking, depending on what you're doing. Think about the words that you use when you go into a search engine to find Rotary clubs, okay? And put those words in your story. Make sure you have a call to action. Sign up for our newsletter. Attend our fundraiser. Listen to our speaker. Listen, watch this video. Those are all call to actions. You want to make them do something. And then make sure you have that social sharing button so that they can share. That's how things go viral. Now, when you're posting to social media, cut that story that you did up here for your website down to only 100 or 150 words. I'm sorry, 100 to 150 words. And then link it to your website. The other thing you can do to make a video, if you don't have a video, is you can take still pictures, put them in, this is an example of it, put them into a PowerPoint, and save it as a PowerPoint presentation, but save it a second time, and it has it where you can save it as a movie. You can then save that movie, post that on Facebook. You can send that to me to put on the YouTube channel and put on our website. And here's an example of a group of basically
For over
still
100
pictures.
years, Rotary members have taken action when challenges arise. We know what people can do when they come together and put others before themselves.
The team lead said they will continue the campaign to fight against the coronavirus.
Local Rotary clubs deliver food and supplies to people in need.
Strangers become friends, helping hands multiply, and problems turn into solutions. We are Rotary. We are people of action. Learn more at rotary.org/action.
Okay, that showed, yes, some videos in there, but most of that was still pictures that you can add transitions to those, you can add words to it, but it shows action. It's a video. They get more sharings and viewings than just still pictures do. Now, this goes back to the call to action. Sort of, what do you want to do with a good story? It might be to make people change how they feel. We're giving them an emotional investment. I think we all feel that with that little boy washing his hands. We feel that with the little girl from Pakistan getting a new leg. That was an emotional investment. Changing the way we think. Okay, they pique and hold our interests. About the way we act. You want to try to bring some energy to your message. so that we will act different. And also the way we behave. It also causes us to take action. So think about those things as you write those stories and write that content. Now, I also told you I'd give you some resources. And I know I'm getting close on my time. So you've got Rotary International, their brand center. Oh, I have a whole 15 minutes. Good, I'll be able to do some questions and answers. But you have the Rotary International Brand Center. This is where they have the videos, they have images, they have the requirements for your logos, how to create a logo. They have templates for newsletters. They have templates for the PowerPoint presentations. They even have backgrounds that you can use for your Zoom background. I believe that's where our DG Eddie got his background, where he's showing the Rotary background. He has that. They have those. And what you do is you go to Rotary.org. You do have to sign in to your My Rotary account. And then when you get that, once you're logged in there, there's a menu item called Manage and then Brand Center. And then you can look around there and they have all of that. This also came out of this PR newsletter that showed up yesterday. The Learning Center has a new course called Promoting Your Club as People of Action. And it's a course in the Learning Center. I have not looked at it yet, but it helps you build awareness and the impact your club has in your community, how to do that. So again, you log in, you go to Rotary.org, you sign in. The menu item you pick this time is called Learning and Reference, and then Learning Center. And this would be the name of the class that they have, Promoting Your Club as People of Action. Now on the district website, we created last year as part of what District Governor Ellison Crider wanted, which was a toolbox. And it's that way up in the menu bar. And there's various links even down the side of the page. And each one of our areas has a section there with all kinds of links to different resources. It might be PowerPoints that you can use in your club. It might have information for you or your treasurer. I know one of the ones on the foundation is to how to fill out and transfer Paul Harris points. A new one that went up this month was questions and answers about Rotary Direct, which is a very easy way to automatically or one time make a donation to Rotary. All of those things, it does not require a login. This is available to the public. And there's also a link on the district app to the toolbox. The last place on the district website, this is part of the toolbox also. There's a section that will have from today's session and the session on the 17th, I will be posting by Tuesday or Wednesday. After I put this in as Tuesday, something else got added to my calendar, so it may be Wednesday, that there will be a section about this training where the PowerPoints will be loaded, the video will be loaded from the meeting, any other materials that they give me, just like I have some sheets that explain a little bit more about different social media accounts, what age group, what kind of person really likes to follow which one. That's a part of your persona. But it's too detailed to go in here with the time that I had. But again, they will be posted there for any one of these sessions. It does not require a login. And it's also, again, the toolbox is on the district app. So I'm going to open it up to questions right now if you wanted to. And I'm going to leave my screen sharing up. So if I need to go back to something, I can. If anybody has any questions or would like more information on this.
Nancy, I have something for you. It's Kent.
Yes.
So there's an application out there for People of Action, POA, to be able to tag phrases on top of our own pictures to be able to put into our newsletters or actually utilize for advertisements if we have that access.
Okay.
Can you kind of comment on that or help us through that?
Yeah, hold on one second. I actually put this on, the district website. And let me share my screen and actually show you right where it is. Share. This is what I want to share. And I am going to go to the district website. And then this is where the toolbox is up in the menu. So I'm going to go to the toolbox. This was all information about Eddie's visits, membership, the Rotary Foundation. This was from our June assembly meetings. I'll come up with a new one for this training. This is about our app. This is committees and avenues of service. Youth services is new. General resources, this is where some Council of Legislation stuff is, and our disaster relief and bylaws, constitutions. People of Action. And there's two different ways to do this. Here's a link to a Facebook page that you can add your proud Rotarian to. That's one thing. Some information on Club Runner, strategic planning, the service projects, the alumni, club presidents and offers, and members. And I did not do this People of Action. So let me go back to the home page because I think I only put it there. I will get it into the toolbox. And this is the home page now. And down the right-hand column is all the different membership corners. Different people have talked about those. And here it is. If you want to add text, the People of Action, the hashtag, and then those words for your photos. If you're on your phone or a tablet, there is an app for it. And you load it the same way you load our app. You have to go down. If it's not a native app, you don't go to the App Store for it, but you share it to your home screen so that you have one of the small icons for it. Or you can go to your computer and laptop if you're on there, and it will give you a way to load a picture, and you can use one of their samples or your picture, and then it even gives you the various text items. So I have put that on the website for people to do, that as they create content, either one of these is good.
And that helps with branding, right?
Yes, that's all the part of the branding, both for your club and for Rotary. Any other questions?
Kind of sounds like we set that up, but we did not talk about this, did we?
No, we did not. But I agree, it did sound like a setup, but it wasn't. Any other questions or need for more information?
I have a question. This is David from Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the website, do all clubs use Club Runner to build and edit their website, or are there other systems that they use?
Okay, that's a good question. About half of our clubs use Club Runner, okay? But that is a service that you have to pay for. and not all clubs have the funds or a tech person to do it. Another program very similar to that, which does carry a cost, we have one club who uses it, which is the Corpus Christi Club, and that is a program called DAC-DB. And other clubs either rely only on their Facebook page, or they have another, just a basic website that was built for them, possibly on the WordPress platform. If anybody wants some advice for your club, this is something that I am willing to share. My vocation, my business is building websites. I don't necessarily promote my own service. I don't do that, but I give advice freely on what might be best for your club and give you some options. I do that as a Rotarian and a webmaster. Answer your question, David?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, I still have time for a minute or two, and otherwise I will do the poll for my time. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and kick off the poll for my session, which was Public Image 1. And it's asking you, what social media platforms does your club utilize? And I thought I had set this up where you could pick more than one, but maybe I didn't, thinking about it now. So you might have to only pick one when I would do the one that you use most often. And I apologize for not doing this poll right if I did not pick make it multiple choice. These are some of the apps that you can, the social media platforms. LinkedIn is a little bit more for professionals and networking. Instagram is pretty much pictures, some text. Pinterest, I don't really use Pinterest at all, so I'm not really sure 100% what that is and what the best way to use it is. YouTube is great for videos. Remember, we do have a YouTube channel for the district that you can subscribe to, and then as I post new videos, then you would get information about it.
Nancy.
Yes.
Pinterest is a set of idea boards. When you want to save an idea to try later or something like that, that's when you save it to the Pinterest board.
Okay. And then Twitter is the real short messages. You're limited in the number of characters. It's a way to get some buzz on a project that you might be doing. And a lot of people only use that one. And I guess I did not make this multiple choice, and I do apologize. Debbie put into the chat what our YouTube channel is. I know it has some really weird characters at the end, and I'm hoping to get that changed. We have 82% of our people that have voted now. That's only 57 of you. Remember, this is used for attendance purposes. And I'm going to give about another 10 seconds because we really haven't had too many votes recently. Last couple. Okay, we're getting the last couple here. 62 out of 69. Done at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here are your shared results. I'm sorry I didn't give people multiple choice, but it looks like a lot of us are on Facebook, which I'm not surprised at. And one last thing, I have just a second here before my time's up. And on the district website, under social, I have not loaded, again, I'm a little bit behind the times. I have not loaded our YouTube channel, but I will get that loaded at the same time I'm loading the presentations for this, where you can come here and then you can subscribe to our channel. And you can then get notification when we have a new video. That's the value of it. And it's also easier to get to, instead of remembering that link with all those really weird characters on it. And other than that, I do believe I am done, and I am going to turn it back to you, Dana.
Hey, thank you, Nancy. Just a couple of quick announcements and acknowledgments before we take a quick break and then bring it home with one last session. First of all, thank you, Nancy Paulson. For those, most of you know, Nancy has worked on our district website for many years, is the developer of our district app. If you haven't been to the district website lately, it's better all the time. So much information out there. And thank you, Nancy. Also, the Rotary.org website and the Learning Center in particular are better than ever. I know some of you have followed that site over the years and know that it wasn't always very user-friendly. They've done a lot of work, and that Learning Center in particular has a ton of great resources for us. So spend some time on the district and the Rotary website when you have time. We are going to take